Welcome back. I'm Pratap here. Today is 3rd March 2025. In this video, I'm going to generate different supply demand zone reports generated by the NeoStock software. Even before that, please understand we are providing complete free training on supply demand zone price action. All the training lessons can be accessible at our NeoStock YouTube channel. So at our channel homepage, you can click the tab posts. You get access to this post. Some of you might be seeing community tab here in place of post. Click on the tab. And once you get the post, click on this YouTube playlist link. That will take you to all the training lessons. So after clicking the link, we are into supply demand zone price action course. Now scroll down to the bottom of the page. Here starting from lesson 1.1, all the training lessons I placed in an order. So please go through all these training lessons one by one according to the training instructions I mentioned at our Telegram channel. I provided the link to our Telegram channel in this video description. So join our Telegram channel. At the top of the window, click on the pinned messages. There you can find all the training instructions. Learn your course according to those instructions. Definitely you will become a very good independent trader in the coming months. Please make use of this opportunity. Okay, now I'm going to generate supply demand zone reports. First, I will find the stocks near demand and supply zones for different time frames, and also daily and above time frames. We will also identify price closed inside demand and supply zones. One of the members asked for weekly zones with weekly, monthly and quarterly zone confluence. I already generated in the weekend report. The Friday report, every Friday I am generating because every Friday weekly candles will be closed. So that is the reason why every Friday I am generating weekly, monthly and weekly, monthly and quarterly zone confluence. Anyway, you requested, I will be generating today. But remember, those reports will be generated in weekly time frame, at weekend reports. First, let me start with yearly. Price closed inside yearly demand zone. 5 stocks are filtered. So as a rule, I am giving you only few seconds time to watch the report. So I request you pause the video. Once you study, you can proceed to the next reports. Those who don't understand the structure of the report, please complete lesson 21.1. In that video, I explained all the columns, their values, abbreviations in detail in that video. Part 1 of lesson 21. Okay, next. Yearly time frame. Price closed inside the yearly supply zone. Mostly we won't be having, yes. Next time frame is a half yearly. Stocks near half yearly demand zone. 3 stocks are filtered. Next, half yearly time frame. Stocks near half yearly supply zone. No stocks are available. Half yearly time frame, price closed inside half yearly demand zone. 10 stocks are filtered. Next, half yearly time frame, price closed inside half yearly supply zone. 1 stock is filtered. Okay, next time frame is quarterly, stocks near quarterly demand zone. We got 5 stocks. Next, quarterly time frame, stocks near quarterly supply zone. We got 3 stocks. Next, quarterly time frame, price closed inside quarterly demand zone. First 23 stocks in the list. I am scrolling the list down. So total 45 stocks are filtered. So we can further filter this list based on EMA confluence. So let's set that filter. EMA confluence and quarterly demand zone having quarterly EMA confluence, and trend on the quarterly should not be sideways, because EMA confluence does not give any advantage with sideways. So that's why you are using up or down with these filters. Now the list is come down to 24 stocks. All these, always look into the search strategy. How we filtered, you will understand. See here, EMA confluence, and quarterly demand zone having quarterly EMA confluence. And while filtering, we are using zone violation trend only up or down, but not sideways. And current price is closed inside quarterly demand zone because the current time frame is quarterly. This is how you should understand. Okay, next, quarterly time frame. Price closed inside quarterly supply zone. We got two stocks. Let's check any of these two stocks are having quarterly supply zone with quarterly EMA confluence. Quarterly supply zone with quarterly EMA, and trend on the quarterly should not be sideways. Both the stocks are filtered. That means both these quarterly supply zones are having quarterly EMA confluence. And current price closed inside those quarterly supply zones. So this is quarterly time frame. Next time frame is monthly. Stocks near monthly demand zone. We got 12 stocks. Next, monthly time frame, stocks near monthly supply zone. We got only 3 stocks. Next, monthly time frame, price closed inside the monthly demand zone. First 20 stocks in the list. Let me quickly scroll the list down. After that, we will filter this big list with EMA confluence. So total 65 stocks are filtered. We can further filter this list based on EMA confluence. So in the EMA confluence at monthly time frame, I am setting filter monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence, and trend on the monthly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. With these filters, now the list is reduced. So first 21 stocks in the list, all these monthly demand zones are having monthly EMA confluence. That is what you are seeing in the search filter. Let me scroll the list down. So total 31 stocks are filtered. Okay, this is about the monthly time frame. Monthly demand zones. Next, monthly time frame, monthly supply zones. Price closed inside the monthly supply zones. We don't have any stocks. Sorry. This is a tested supply zones. Sorry for the mistake. Price closed inside any supply zone. We got 4 stocks. Let's check out of these 4 how many monthly supply zones are having monthly EMA confluence. So in the EMA at monthly, I am setting monthly supply zone with monthly EMA confluence, and trend on the monthly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. So we don't have any EMA confluence supported monthly supply zones. Okay, next time frame is weekly. Now I will also generate the one of the request asked by a member also. So first let me finish weekly time frame. Stocks near weekly demand zone. We got first 16 stocks in the list. I am scrolling the list down. So 27 stocks are filtered. Stocks near weekly demand zone. Next, weekly time frame. Stocks near weekly supply zone. We got 7 stocks. Next, weekly time frame. Price closed inside the weekly demand zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Let me quickly scroll the list down. So total 75 stocks filtered. We can further filter based on the EMA confluence. How many of these weekly demand zones are having weekly EMA confluence? So in weekly time frame, setting the filter weekly demand zone with weekly EMA confluence, and trend on the weekly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. With these filters, only the list is come down to 10 stocks. These 10 weekly demand zones are having weekly EMA confluence. Price closed inside the weekly demand zone. Okay, next. Weekly time frame. Price closed inside the weekly supply zone. We got 9 stocks. Out of these 9, how many weekly supply zones are having weekly EMA Confluence? Let's verify. In the EMA Confluence at weekly supply zone having weekly EMA, and trend on the weekly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. Only 2 stocks are filtered. These 2 weekly supply zones are having weekly EMA Confluence. Okay, as per the request asked by our member, let me look for zones are having weekly zone, monthly zone and quarterly zone confluence. So weekly time frame. First let us look into the demand zone supported stocks. So weekly demand zone having monthly demand zone confluence. Weekly demand zone having quarterly demand zone confluence. And monthly demand zone having quarterly demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 41 stocks. So first 16 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 41 stocks are filtered. So weekly, monthly, and see the filter here, you will understand. Demand zone confluence. Similarly, supply zone confluence we will filter. For weekly time frame, supply zone confluence, weekly supply zone with monthly supply zone confluence, weekly supply zone with quarterly supply zone confluence, monthly supply zone with quarterly supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got only 8 stocks. Okay, this is about weekly time frame. Next time frame is a daily. Entry time frame daily. Let us find the stocks near daily demand zone. We got only 5 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity demand zones from this list. We have only one high liquidity demand zone, MFSL. When it is, this is the 10th June 2024, you have data available in TradingView. You can fine tune up to 5 minutes time frame. Okay, so this is about daily. Stocks near daily demand zones. Next, for daily time frame, let us find the stocks near daily supply zone. We got 15 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity supply zones from this list. Motherson is having high liquidity supply zone. PEL is having a high liquidity daily supply zone. Ramco Cement is having a high liquidity daily supply zone. We have identified 3 daily high liquidity supply zones from this list. Okay. Next, daily time frame, price closed inside the daily demand zone. First 15 stocks in the list. I am scrolling the list down quickly. Later we will further filter with EMA confluence. I am scrolling the list down. So total 89 stocks are filtered. Price closed inside daily demand zones. Let us identify how many of these daily demand zones are having daily EMA confluence. In the EMA confluence, daily, setting the filter, daily demand zone with daily EMA confluence. Trend on the daily should not be sideways. It can be up or down. With these filters, The list is come down to 15. Out of 89, we got only 15 stocks. Daily demand zones are having daily EMA confluence. Okay, next. Price closed inside the daily supply zone for daily time frame. Price closed inside daily supply zone. We got 14 stocks. Out of these 14, how many daily supply zones are having daily EMA confluence? Let us verify. The EMA confluence daily, setting the filter, daily supply zone with daily EMA confluence. Trend on the daily should be either up or down. With these filters, we got 3 stocks. Out of 8, 3 stocks are having daily supply zones with daily EMA confluence. So this is about daily time frame. Next time frame is 125 minutes. Stocks near 125 minutes demand zone. We got 8 stocks. Next 125 minutes time frame, stocks near 125 minutes supply zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 20 stocks are filtered. Okay, next time frame is 75 minutes. Entry time frame 75 minutes. Let us find the stocks near 75 minutes demand zone. We got 6 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity 75 minutes 75 minutes demand zones from this list. Jindal Steel is having a high liquidity 75 minutes demand zone. That's it. Only one stock. Okay, next for 75 minutes time frame, let us find the stocks near 75 minutes supply zone. We got 8 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity supply zone. First one is NIFTY metals, but it is not listed in F&O. L&T Mindtree. This is a high liquidity 75 minutes supply zone. Only one stock we identified from this list. Stocks near 75 minutes supply zone. Okay, this is about we identified stocks near daily and 75 minutes demand and supply zones. So next time frame is 25 minutes. Stocks near 25 minutes demand zone. You got 7 stocks. Next 25 minutes time frame, stocks near 25 minutes supply zone. We got 9 stocks. Next time frame is 15 minutes, stocks near 15 minutes demand zone. We got 7 stocks. Out of these 7, how many are having ITF demand zone confluence? Let's verify. That is 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence. I am enabling the filter. With this filter, we got 3 stocks. Next 15 minutes time frame, stocks near 15 minutes supply zone. We got 5 stocks. Out of these 5, how many are having ITF supply zone confluence? Let's verify. That is 15 minutes supply zone with 75 minutes supply zone confluence. So I enable the filter. We got 3 stocks. Okay, next time frame is 5 minutes. Stocks near 5 minutes demand zone. We got 6 stocks. Let's verify high TF demand zone supported class stocks. That is 5 minutes and 15 minutes demand zone confluence. I enable the filter. We got 4 stocks. Fourth one is a Pierce demand zone. We can't use it. Okay, next 5 minutes time frame, stocks near 5 minutes supply zone. 10 stocks we got. Let's verify how many of these 5-minute supply zones are having ITF Confluence. Nifty 50 is also having a 5-minute supply zone, already tested 3 times. So, okay. 5-minute supply zone with 15-minute supply zone Confluence. We got 2 stocks. Okay, this is about stocks near demand and supply zones for all the time frames. Next, we will generate Nifty and Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. So let's start with Nifty. From monthly time frame, generating monthly supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Monthly supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Always look into zone column to find high liquidity zone. Look into the pierced column to find the pierced zones. Always look into the LTF trend to find the trend of the current time frame you have selected. Apply the same rules for the remaining reports, supply demand zone chain reports. Okay, next, weekly supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, daily supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, 125-minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, 75-minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, 25-minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Let me put it in the center. Okay, next, 15-minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. All these are all supply zones. Let me scroll the list down. This is the nearest demand zone. Let me put it in the center. Okay. Next, 5-minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. All are supply zones. I'm scrolling the list down. In this page also all are supply zones. Again, I'm scrolling the list down. Here 71 we have the demand zone. Okay. So this is about the Nifty supply demand zone chain. Next we will generate Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. Changing the name to Nifty Bank, that is nothing but Bank Nifty. So generating monthly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, weekly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, daily supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, 125-minute supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, 75 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. So let me adjust in the center. Next, 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. All these are all supply zones. I am scrolling the list down. Here we have the nearest demand zone to the current closing price. Let me adjust in the center. Okay, this is about Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. So with this we have completed both Nifty and Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. The next reports are bullish and bearish trade setups for all the 4 income trades: monthly, weekly, daily and hourly income trades. So let me start with the bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame daily. Entry is on demand zone in bullish or bearish trade setup. At daily I am selecting bullish. Zone achievement should be violated opposing zone. Minimum odd and hands score should be 12. With these filters we got 5 stocks. These 5 stocks are supporting bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame zones are daily demand zones. All these are all daily demand zones. Out of these 5, how many are having ITF zone confluence? Let's verify. That is a daily and weekly demand zone confluence. So this is the filter I am enabling. So out of 5, 4 are having daily and weekly demand zone confluence. That means daily zone is part of weekly demand zone. And the weekly trend is up for all these stocks. If weekly demand zone having weekly EMA, then those daily demand zones are high probability zones. Let's verify. So in the EMA confluence weekly, because daily is part of the weekly, that's why we are checking weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. Anyway, trend is uptrend. We got only one stock. So this is a high probability trade setup supported zone. That is the reason why it is already tested 2 times. 6 rejections from this zone. Okay, next let us look into LTF, ITF and HTF demand zone confluence supported stocks. So I am removing this EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, we should set 3 filters. First filter is already enabled, daily with weekly. Next, daily demand zone with monthly demand zone confluence and weekly demand zone with monthly demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got one stock. So daily demand zone is overlapped with weekly. Both are together overlapped with monthly. Already we identified this as a high probability. Now let us check whether this is also having monthly EMA confluence. EMA confluence monthly. I am checking monthly demand zone with monthly EMA confluence. So it is filtered even for monthly. So that's why this is the most high probability trade setup compared to the other four bullish trade setup stocks. Okay, this is a bullish trade setup monthly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup monthly income trade. Entry time frame daily, entry zone. Supply zone in bullish or bearish trade setup. At daily, I'm selecting bearish, and the zone achievement should be violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score should be 12. With these filters, we got 6 stocks. So these 6 stocks are currently supporting bearish trade setup for weekly income. Bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. And entry time frame zones are daily supply zones. All these are all daily supply zones. Out of these 6 daily supply zones, let us further filter based on the zone confluence. First filter LTF, ITF, supply zone confluence. That is daily and weekly supply zone confluence. I am enabling the filter. So with this filter, out of 6, we got all 6 stocks. So in all the 6 stocks, these daily supply zones are overlapped with weekly supply zones. And the weekly trend is down in all these stocks. If weekly supply zone having weekly EMA, then those stocks are even more high probability trade setup supported stocks. Let's verify. EMA confluence at a weekly time frame setting, weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence, and weekly trend is a downtrend. We got one stock. So this weekly supply zone is having high probability to get success. Next, we will look into LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone confluence supported stocks. I am removing this filter, EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, we should set 3 filters. First filter is already enabled, daily with weekly. Next, daily supply zone with monthly supply zone confluence, and weekly supply zone with monthly supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 4 stocks. In these 4 stocks, the daily supply zones are overlapped with weekly, both together again overlapped with monthly supply zone. And monthly trend is sideways in all the 4 stocks. So monthly EMA confluence, no need to check because it does not give any extra advantage because monthly trend is sideways. So this is a bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Next, we will generate weekly income trade reports. First, weekly income trade bullish trade setup, entry time frame 75 minutes, entry zone, demand zone, bullish or bearish trade setup at 75 minutes. I am selecting bullish, zone achievement VOZ, minimum odd enhancer score 12, and third filter 75 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So pierced count at 75 minutes, minimum value I am selecting 0, maximum value 0. With all the 3 filters, we got 6 stocks. All these 6 stocks are currently supporting bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. And all these entry time frame demand zones are 75 minutes demand zones. These are the entry time frame zones. Out of these 6 entry time frame zones, how many are having more probability to get success based on the zone confluence? Let us verify. First one, ITF and LTF demand zone confluence. That is 75 minutes and daily demand zone confluence. So I enabled the filter, and trend is also uptrend for daily time frame. So we got 6 stocks. That means in all these 6 stocks, these 75 minutes demand zones are overlapped with daily demand zones, all these demand zones. And daily trend is up in all these stocks. So that's why if daily demand zone is having daily EMA, then these 75 minutes demand zones might be having more probability to get success. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence at daily time frame. Why daily? Because 75 minutes demand zone is inside the daily demand zone or overlapped with daily demand zone. That's why we are checking daily demand zone having daily EMA confluence. With this filter, we got 3 stocks. So these 3 75 minutes demand zones are having more probability to get success. That's why look into this zone, already tested 3 times and 10 rejections. That means more than 10 times it is tested. 10 times at least. Okay. HDFC also already tested. Maybe it might have tested today or yesterday. If yesterday report, if it is there, if it is tested today, the trade is executed. That way you have to understand. Okay, next let us look into LTF, ITF and HTF demand zone confluence. Removing EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First filter is already enabled, 75 with daily. Next 75 with weekly demand zone confluence, daily with weekly demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 2 stocks. In these 2 stocks, these 75 minutes demand zones are overlapped with daily, both together overlapped with weekly. And weekly trend is up in only one stock. If this is having weekly EMA, it is having even more high probability to get success. Already it is having high probability based on LTF, ITF and ITF EMA confluence. Now we are checking even HTF also. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence, weekly time frame, HTF is weekly. Weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. But the trend on the weekly should not be sideways. It should be uptrend because it is bullish trade setup. So HDFC Bank is filtered once again. That means this is even more high probability trade setup supported stock. Okay, this is a bullish trade setup for a weekly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frame 75 minutes, entry zone, supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 75 minutes, selecting bearish. Zone achievement violated opposing zone, minimum order enhances score 12. And 75 minutes supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 75 minutes, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 25 stocks. So first 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 25 stocks supporting bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. And all the entry time frame zones are 75 minute supply zones. Now we can further filter those supply zones based on the zone confluence. First one, LTF, ITF supply zone confluence. That is 75 minutes with the daily supply zone confluence. With this filter, we got 12 stocks. Out of 25, only these 12 stocks, these 75 minute supply zones are overlapped with daily supply zone. 75 overlapped with daily. And daily trend is down in all these stocks, ITF trend. So that's why if any of these daily supply zones are having daily EMA, they are more high probability trade setup supported stocks. Let's verify. The EMA confluence at 75 minutes time frame, I am setting the filter 75 minutes supply zone having daily EMA confluence. Sorry, we made a mistake. Reason is 75 is overlapped with the daily supply zone. That's why we have to check daily supply zone having daily EMA confluence or not. So with this filter, we got 7 stocks. So these 7 stocks are having more high probability to get success. Remember, this is the probability game. Okay, next let us look into LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone confluence supported stocks. So I am going back, removing this EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First filter is already enabled. Some mistake I did in the previous report. Previous report I used demand zone. So sorry for the mistake. I have to regenerate the report again, previous report. Please cancel the earlier report, that is wrong. This is 75 minute supply zone. So in the supply zone confluence we have to set. This is the one I have to use. Earlier I used demand zone confluence. So I am generating again with the zone confluence LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. That is 75 minute supply zone with daily supply zone confluence. Enable the filter. With this filter, we got out of 25, we got 16 stocks. All 16 stocks we got. In these 16 stocks, how many of these daily supply zones are having daily EMA confluence? We should verify, because these 75-minute supply zones are overlapped with daily supply zones. So in the EMA confluence at a daily time frame, I am filtering daily supply zone having daily EMA confluence or not. With this filter, we got 11 stocks. These 11 stocks, daily supply zones are having daily EMA confluence, and these 75-minute supply zones are overlapped with the daily supply zone having daily EMA confluence. That way, these are the high probability trade setup supported 75-minute supply zones. Okay, next let us look into LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence. Removing this EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, we should set 3 filters. First filter is already enabled, 75 with daily supply zone confluence. Next filter, 75-minute supply zone with weekly supply zone confluence, and daily supply zone with weekly supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters enabled, LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence, we got 6 stocks. In these 6 stocks, these 75-minute supply zones are overlapped with weekly supply, daily supply zone, both together again overlapped with weekly supply zone. And weekly trend is down in all the stocks except the first one. So leave the first one. If remaining stocks, if weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence, then they are even more high probability trade setup supported stocks. Let us verify. In the EMA confluence weekly time frame, we are checking weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence or not. And also the trend on the weekly should not be sideways. It should be downtrend, because it is bearish trade setup. So with these filters, we got 3 stocks. So these 3 are having even more high probability to get success. So that is the reason why, see, this stock is already tested 2 times. Okay, so this is about bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Next, we will generate income trade reports for daily income trade, bullish and bearish trade setups. First, daily income trade, bullish trade setup, entry time frame 15 minutes, entry zone, demand zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 15 minutes time frame, I am selecting bullish. And zone achievement should be violated opposing zone, minimum odd enhancer score should be 12. And also this 15 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 15 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With all the 3 filters, we got only 2 stocks currently supporting bullish trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frames are 15 minutes demand zones. We have 2 15 minutes demand zones. Out of these 2, they are having ITF confluence or not. Let us verify. That is 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence. I am enabling this filter. So both the stocks are having zone confluence, ITF confluence. That means these 15 minutes demand zones are overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. And 75 minutes trend is up. Let us check if 75 minutes EMA confluence they are having with daily EMA. 75 minutes demand zone with daily EMA confluence. So in the EMA confluence at 75 minutes time frame, why 75? Because 15 minutes demand zone is overlapped with the 75 minutes demand zone. That's why we are checking 75 minutes demand zone having daily EMA confluence. So none of them are having EMA confluence. Fine. Removing EMA filter. Let's check those stocks are having LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence with all the 3. So in the demand zone confluence, first filter already enabled. 15 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone confluence. Second filter, 50 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence. Third filter, 75 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence. with all the three filters. We got both the stocks. That means in both the stocks, these 15 minutes demand zones are overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. Both together again overlapped with daily demand zone. And daily trend is up in one stock. If this daily demand zone having daily EMA confluence, then this 15 minutes demand zone could be even more high probability to get success. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence at a daily time frame, I am checking daily demand zone having daily EMA confluence, and trend on the daily should not be sideways, it should be uptrend because it is bullish trade setup. So it is not having any EMA confluence, daily demand zone. So this is about bullish trade setup for daily income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame is 15 minutes. Entry time frame 15 minutes. Entry zone is supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 15 minutes, I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement should be violated opposing zone. Minimum odd and hands score should be 12. And 15 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 15 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 20 stocks. So first 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 20 stocks. All these 20 stocks are supporting bearish trade setup for daily income trade, and entry time frame zones are 15 minutes supply zones. All these are all 15 minutes supply zones, entry time frames. Out of these 20, how many are having ITF confluence? Let us further filter. That is 15 minutes supply zone with 75 minutes supply zone confluence. Enable the filter. Out of 20, we got 16 stocks. So first 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 16. Out of these 16, how many of these 75 minutes supply zones? Because 15 minutes supply zone overlapped with 75 minutes supply zone. So out of these, how many of these 75 minute supply zones are having daily EMA confluence? Let us verify. In the EMA confluence at 75 minutes time frame, I am checking 75 minute supply zone having daily EMA confluence. With this filter, we don't get any stocks. We did not get any stocks. Check EMA filter. We are checking 75 minute supply zone having daily EMA confluence. So we don't have. Okay, fine. I am removing EMA filter. Now let us check LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence. So in the supply zone confluence, first filter is enabled. Second filter, 15 minute supply zone with daily supply zone confluence. Next, 75 minute supply zone with daily supply zone confluence. With all the three filters, we got 9 stocks. So in these 9 stocks, these 15 minute supply zones are overlapped with 75 minute supply zone. Both together again overlapped with daily supply zone. And daily means HTF. Daily trend is down in all these stocks except fifth one. So in the remaining stocks, if the daily supply zone having daily EMA confluence, then they are even more high probability to get success. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence, daily time frame, I'm setting the filter daily supply zone with daily EMA confluence, and also trend on the daily should not be sideways. So it should be downtrend because it is bearish trade setup. So we got 2 stocks. So these 2 are even more high probability to get the success, the supply zones. So this is about a bearish trade setup for daily income trade. And the next income trade is hourly income trade. Entry time frame is 5 minutes. Entry zone, demand zone, bullish or bearish trade setup. 5 minutes, I'm selecting bullish. Zone achievement VOZ, minimum order enhancer score 12. And 5 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the 5 minutes, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. So with these filters, we got 6 stocks. All these 6 are supporting bullish trade setup for daily income trade. Hourly income trade. Bullish trade setup for hourly income trade. Some of these zones are high liquidity 5 minutes demand zones. I think all, except first one. Okay, out of these 6, how many are having ITF Confluence? Let us verify. Further filter. ITF and LTF. That is 5 minutes and 15 minutes demand zone Confluence. So I am enabling the filter. Out of 5, 4 are having ITF Confluence. All demand zones, but first one is not high liquidity. Okay, out of these 4, how many of these 15 minutes demand zones? Because 5 minutes is overlapped with 15 minutes. If 15 minutes is having daily EMA Confluence, they are even more high probability to get success. Mostly it is not easy to identify 15 minutes with daily, but sometimes we may get some stocks. So in the EMA Confluence at 15 minutes demand zone having daily EMA Confluence. With this filter, we don't get any stocks. Okay, next let us look into LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone Confluence. So I am removing this filter. So in the demand zone Confluence, I am enabling the filter. First filter is already set. Second filter 5 minutes with 75 minutes zone Confluence. 15 minutes with 75 minutes demand zone Confluence. With all the 3 filters, we did not get any stocks. No LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone Confluence. Okay, this is bullish trade setup for hourly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for hourly income trade. Entry time frame is 5 minutes. Entry zone is supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 5 minutes, I am selecting bearish. And zone achievement is violated opposing zone. Minimum order enhancer score 12. And 5 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 5 minutes, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With all the 3 filters, we got 10 stocks. So these 10 stocks are currently supporting bearish trade setup for hourly income trade. And all these entry time frame zones are 5 minute supply zones. Out of these 10 5 minute supply zones, how many are having ITF and LTF Confluence? That is 5 minutes and 15 minutes supply zone Confluence. Let's check. So I am enabling the filter 5 minute supply zone with 15 minute supply zone Confluence. With this filter, we got 8 stocks. In all these 8 stocks, these 5 minute supply zones are overlapped with 15 minute supply zones. All these 5 minute supply zones. And 15 minutes trend, ITF trend is down. So if 15 minute supply zones, any of the 15 minute supply zones are having daily EMA Confluence, they could be even more high probability to get success. Let's verify. In the EMA Confluence, at 15 minutes time frame, I am checking 15 minute supply zone having daily EMA Confluence. So none of the stocks are having ITF Confluence, EMA Confluence. So next let us look into LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone Confluence. That is 5 minutes, 15 minutes and 75 minutes supply zone Confluence. First filter is already enabled. Next 5 minute supply zone with 75 minute supply zone Confluence and 15 minute supply zone with 75 minute supply zone Confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 3 stocks. In these 3 stocks, these 5 minute supply zones are overlapped with 15 minute supply zone. Both together again overlapped with 75 minute supply zone. And 75 minutes means HTF. HTF trend is down. So if any of this 75 minute supply zone having daily EMA Confluence, then these 5 minute supply zones might be having even more high probability to get success. Let's verify. In the EMA Confluence 75 minutes time frame, I'm checking 75 minutes supply zone having daily EMA Confluence. Anyway, trend is down in all the three. So none of the stocks are filtered. So none of the 75 minute supply zones are having daily EMA Confluence. So this is about hourly income trade, bearish trade setup. So with this we have completed all the income trades, and in the final report let us generate stop buffers based on daily ATR. So first 17 in this list are indices, remaining all are equity stocks. I am scrolling the list down. Whichever the stock you want to refer, there pause the video. After that you can proceed further. Okay, I am scrolling the list down. So this is the end of the report. Hope this information will be useful to you. Let's all meet again in our next video. Thank you.